Matt Gilmour sitting in for Aaron Rand all of this week as Aaron enjoys a bit of vacation. Just about half an hour left in the program, but we do want to talk about something that was announced today that is kind of a head scratcher in some ways. Ahead of the provincial election next year in October of 2026. Elections Quebec is cracking down on individuals and companies who spread electoral misinformation. As of July of next year, they say anyone who impersonates a candidate or spreads false information about the electoral process could be liable for fines up to $10,000. For companies or organizations, the fines could go up to $30,000. So this sort of stems from Bill 98, called an act to amend the Election Act, mainly to preserve the integrity of the electoral process. And it does have, some questions, lead to some questions, mainly how do we determine what false information or misinformation is, and how does this affect free speech? So I thought we'd call Frederic Berard, constitutional lawyer and partner at GBM Lawyers and a law professor at the Université de Montréal. How's it going, Frederic?
Very good. Yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Appreciate you doing this. What was your sort of first reaction to hearing this announcement that Elections Quebec is taking such a strong action against misinformation?
Yeah, well, actually, I think it's necessary to fight against misinformation, especially with the AI and all that stuff around. But the thing is, Matt, is that as I teach to my students each and every time, it's not the law itself. It's not the objective itself that might be the problem. Sometimes it's just the how may I put it? It's just the fact that it's so vague that we're not sure what they're talking about, right? I mean, what is misinformation? We might have a clue. Impersonification, okay, that's cool. But as for the rest, I mean, will that impact the freedom of speech? That is a real big issue. I think that as of now, as I saw it, the law might be a bit too broad to be constitutional, because you have Section 7 of the Canadian Charter of Rights that oblige the Parliament to be very clear, to be very precise when it adopts some laws like that, especially when it relates to a criminal standpoint.
I think it. It sort of is understandable to want to crack down, especially on people who are impersonating or companies that are impersonating candidates, because, it's kind of cut and dry, right? If you're impersonating somebody, then obviously you're spreading this type of misinformation. But can we really make it illegal to lie? Though, I would no, but that's a serious question, because I agree that it's a problem, misinformation, especially around elections. But is it what this is doing is making it illegal to lie? Is that constitutional?
Yeah, well, actually, I know that was a serious question, and then that was a serious laugh, because I mean, you just got it. I mean, that's the real question. Is it unconstitutional? Is it criminal to lie? The answer usually is no, according to the criminal code. There's an old case in the 90s about that, and the court said, well, actually, we cannot prevent people from lying. But now, that was way before the social medias, right? That was way before the AI. So as of now, I think that the court will have to adjust itself at one point and see, well, okay, lying might be a big problem in 2025 because it affects democracy. It's so easy right now to manipulate, people thinking, to manipulate the results of the elections. As we know, remember that in the U.S. right now in Oklahoma, they're going to teach in September the fact that Trump lost the election in 2020. So that is kind of a big lie, right? So how can we prevent that kind of lying in Canada to protect our democracy? That's a real big challenge. My only concern is that when a section of a bill is too vague, I mean, that might be a problem as well. Because let's say, for instance, that I'm just impersonating whoever, François Legault, for instance, but I'm joking. If you take a look to the law, I might be responsible for the fine of $10,000 because it doesn't say, well, you can't joke, you can. So, I mean, it's so large, it's so broad, it's so imprecise that this will probably bring up to a challenge in terms of Section 7, as I mentioned.
Yeah, what about satire? What about people who are doing satirical critiques of political officials? The other thing that I saw in here that was kind of concerning was the use of spreading misinformation. And I mean, the term misinformation has almost lost meaning now. I think most of us understand what it is. But, just recently in this debate over the bill that would sort of change the way doctors are paid, you've got, Christian Dubé, who is the health minister, who's putting out data about, this is a bit in the weeds, but data about how and when doctors see their patients. And the associations of physicians have called it misinformation. So who gets to decide? And does that mean that Christian Dubé is barred from running in the next election, even though he's not running? Do you know what I mean?
Well, actually, wow, that's a good one. I didn't think about that. That's a very, very good one, Matt, because, frankly, if we could ban politicians from lying, I would be very pleased with that. But that could be a dangerous game because there might be some politicians missing for the next election, right? What is misinformation? When do you lie? When do you are just like imprecise in a way? So, and that's the problem with that sort of law because it brings up too many interpretation. Because some people will say, "Yeah, we're not stupid. We know that you know what the bill is all about." But the thing is that when you are talking about a criminal standpoint, you need to be very clear that the citizen have to know what it's all about. What can I do? What can't I do? So I'll have to say that in that particular case, each and every time that a politician, a minister, M&A or whoever will manipulate, public information, that might be seen as a misinformation. So that's, the thing about, a political party that is trying to spread, bad news about another one, deforming the reality. Is that misinformation? Actually, yes, it is. Is it prevented by the law? If you take a short look at it, yes, it is. So will we ban those, politicians from running next election? Might be. We'll find them. Will we find them like 10K? Actually, might be. So, I'll have to say that we need to rework that. The objective is good. It's necessary. It's imperative. But we need to do it smartly and not just throwing something out the window like we did already.
Okay, we're speaking with Frederic Berard, a constitutional lawyer and law professor at Université de Montréal, about this idea of fining people who engage in election misinformation and impersonating or lying about politicians during the upcoming election here in Quebec. We did talk about some of the sort of worst case scenario, people could get caught up by this law, but you sort of mentioned if the objective is good, can you think of ways perhaps that you could actually zero in on the actual problem of misinformation and avoid some of these cases where, people get caught up in it and there's constitutional violations?
Yes. As you said at the beginning, it's head scratching because what is misinformation? I go back to that point. We need a bill that is clear. We need a bill that is precise. So what are the bill is preventing misinformation? Okay, now the bill has to provide a definition of what is this misinformation, what it is. Is that interpreting, the reality to our advantage? Is that lying 100%? This is kind of a very, very different interpretations that you could that someone could have. And the judge will have to consider this. If you're a citizen taking a look at the law, do you understand it? Is it clear for you? Is it clear that you can do this, but you can't do that? If it's not, the bill will be struck down quite easily with regards to the charters of rights. And you know what? I think it's a good thing. So how can we remodel that? I think that the Parliament has to give very, very clear and precise detail about what they're trying to prevent here.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Frederic. I really appreciate your insights and perspective.